use, easier to take apart, easier to change back and forth from a lid to a speed feed, and most importantly, never jams. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
All right, we are back. 2 more games to go here in the morning's competition. Right now, we're about to watch Omaha Vicious take on Chicago Aftershock. And then right after that, it's going to be another powerhouse game between Tampa Bay Damage and Legion. But first up, let's take a look at where we stand in this bracket. Tampa Bay Damage is 3-0 with a plus 13 differential. That is ridiculous. And then Edmonton Impact putting the beat down on a lot of teams too, though they just lost to Damage. So they go 3-1. And plus 14. Now Moscow Red Legion, they're 2-1 with a plus 4. But Omaha Vicious and Chicago Aftershock are battling it out for that 4th slot. So the winner of this game will go to the playoff, and the loser of this game is going to lock in a challenger slot for the MAO Mid-Atlantic Open coming from OXCC Paintball Park in Chesapeake City, Maryland. Can't wait to go to that field. Ricardo runs an awesome show there. So that's what's at stake right here. We're basically fighting for who is going to have a chance to compete against the other 4th-ranked teams in the brackets for the last spot in the Champions Division, and the loser of this game is going to lock in a challenger spot. Now, it's still a pro division, but it's going to be very competitive, but you know, neither one of these teams wants to bump down to the challengers bracket.
No, not at all. I mean, Vicious, this is a team that believes that they can win tournaments. You know, never did they really believe that they would end up in this position, but if they do, they're going to have to fight their way out.
But Todd, I agree. I think they can too, but looks like goggles have come off.
Brian Bordeaux on the snake side of the field. If you get a shot over there real quick on the Vicious side of the field, Brian Bordeaux's goggles fell off on the break. You know, go a little more to your left, and you can see him right there.
Well,
now what happens is,
that's the most important thing.
What happens is the rule is if your goggles fall off, you are automatically eliminated from the play. So that kind of what it does is it keeps players from shooting at you. If you see 2 refs diving on somebody laying on the ground, the chances of their goggles being off are pretty dang good.
Yeah, well, they are blocking their using their body to block those shots to get those goggles back on, and safety
and they
is at a
point.
premium out here. So, but what's happening right now is they got Daly. Shock has Daly and the Snake. He's also got Simmons right behind him, and they are in way better field position because Brian Bordeaux was eliminated because of that equipment malfunction of his goggles coming off. And now, but Omaha Vicious, they are in better field position on that drill side of the field. But Todd, I was going to say, sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what Vicious needs to do, you're right, they can win tournaments, but they need to feel that vibe that they were finding towards the end of last season where they went 3-1 at the World Cup.
And get consistent productivity out of all their good players. And that's, they got a good level of talent across the board. It's just all those guys need to play together, and they need to all play good at the same time. You know, and all playing good at the same time comes first, and then all playing good together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So,
you know, right coming down the middle of the field now, Vicious is starting to utilize the middle of that field like we had spoke about. Zach Sherman came down the middle of the field, effectively took out both players on this side of the field on the snake side. But it looked like you said, Aftershock did have the upper hand there for a second.
Yeah, but not able to capitalize. So we will be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ANSgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
And we are back. The first point goes to Omaha Vicious. Lots of game left to play, obviously. 18-16 left in regulation. And Aftershock, 0 points so far. And Todd, I think you said it best. Omaha Vicious, they know that they can win tournaments with this crew. They've spent years building the team that you see on your screen right now. And it's a tough, tough team, full of talent. However, so far in this event, they haven't been able to get all that talent to play together on the same page and struggled in their matches, hence the 0-3 record. On the flip side, Aftershock, they also have a lot of talent. There's Caleb Abel, and Coach Mikey Bruno thinks he's going to be a huge asset to his team, but they need guys like Davey Simmons and AJ Lawhead to step up, and then they need good, solid roles played by the secondary players on that team.
On the breakout right there, split screen, Aftershock on your right, Vicious on your left, all the way to the 50, Dorito on your screen. Did he make that? I believe he might have, Matty.
Oh, wow. The referee,
that was amazing.
Yeah, referee gives him the once over, and he makes it in there clean. That was an awesome run by Trevor Reeser from Omaha Vicious on your screen right there. And then now countering that move, Davey Simmons from Chicago Aftershock gets into Snake 2.
You know, but
here comes the push down the Dorito side, Chris.
Oh, you know what? And just as we said that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matty. On the other side of the field, Trevor Reeser pulling a major penalty. He must have been hit diving in there. So here comes the Aftershock push.
Yeah,
AJ Lawhead.
All over the field. Here comes Aftershock, and they are looking really good to tie this game up here at 1 apiece. And unfortunate turn of events, if you're an Omaha Vicious fan, as Trevor Reeser looked like he made an awesome run into that 50-yard line Dorito, but the referee finally finding the hit on him and throwing that penalty. Caleb Abel getting checked out by the referees. Our score is going to be 1-0. This game brought to you by Challenge Park Extreme, CPX Sports, coming out of Chicago. That's where our third event is held. Amazing, legendary field. And I'll tell you what, man, if you guys haven't been to the Living Legends big game, you want a good, fun event, go to that. So here, let's check out this replay. Look at this run. On the stunt here, cuts in, blocks it out, then cuts it out wide towards the Dorito, digs in, and then Superman dive into there. Must have caught one on that run.
Now looking at the way he dove there, he must have knew that one was there. I mean, because honestly, when you see me combat roll, there's something somewhere.
I thought that was just because you were losing your graceful athleticism.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. That my slowness is the other half.
I thought the torpedo effect, increased aerodynamics.
Yeah, we'll come back to that right after these few messages from our sponsors.
We're looking at the statistics tower on the scorekeeping tower on the opposite side, pit side of the field. And what a beautiful morning so far. We've had pristine weather here, Dallas, Texas, for the season opener of the PSP season. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez and Chris Lasoya. And we were watching Chicago Aftershock and Omaha Vicious battle each other to see who is going to have a chance to play off to stay in the Champions Division and who will be bumping down to the Challengers Division for the next event. Let's listen in. We have Lauren Kelly. Lauren, what's going on over there?
Down here in the Aftershock pit, Mikey, Bruno, what are you guys doing? What's your strategy to capitalize on this major against Vicious?
Kill one dude on the break real quick and just go down the field as fast as we can. Just to capitalize on it to save the penalty.
All right.
We did, but it doesn't look like we're going down the field too quick. But yeah, that's what we tried to do, is kill one guy on the field.
All right, well, we'll see how this goes. Back to you, Matty.
Well, in the transmission right there, Matty, Mike Bruno said get down the field, and that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey Bruno's looking pretty good, or Mikey Bruno's team is looking pretty good at this point as they're streaking down the field, trying to take out Vicious's last player, and they double bunker him out. So he's going to have a couple back welts to rub later on this afternoon. And that was number 33, Phil Kank, who was one of their top players last year, and did some work out there. Was Caleb Abel, and there's Coach Mikey Bruno, legendary paintball player from back in the day. Talk about guys who set the pace when paintball first emerged out of the woods, and it was Mikey. One of the guys was the man you're looking at on your screen right now. Now in charge with leading Chicago Aftershock back to the promised land, which is not where they were last season.
Right. I think that hat came from those days too.
Lucky hat. So we're going to be right back after this.
We've just done a lot to make the loader smaller, lighter, tighter, simpler, more reliable, more consistent, just a better product in almost every single way. It is the lightest force feed loader of its type on the market. It's also now, with this smaller body profile, the smallest force feed loader on the market. Everything's taken care of automatically by the sensors in the loader. Put it on your gun, play paintball.
Cloudless sky in Dallas, Texas. Perfect paintball weather. Couldn't ask for a better start to the season. And couldn't ask for a more entertaining start to this game, as we've seen a penalty as Trevor Racers tried to make a dramatic move into that 50 and was taken out. And Chicago Aftershock able to capitalize. And let's look at the double bunker move here to finish out that game. And poor Phil Kank stuck in that back corner bunker, which is not normally where we see him.
Well, you know, and what happened in that game was Mike Bruno said, I want to take one guy out in the break, which they did. Brian Bortle took the walk from this side of the snake side of the field, which left the opportunity to get in the snake on the Aftershock guys, got down the field, went up to the middle A, and kind of slowly, methodically shot the rest of the players out. When they did a really good job. Also conserved the penalty, 45 seconds left on that major penalty on Omaha Vicious. Bless you.
So here we go on the start of this next point. Chicago Aftershock in the blue on the left-hand portion of your screen, getting eaten up, trying to get out here on the snake side. Davey Simmons struggling this point to find his spot, and Daly, though, able to get into his spot, and now they're spreading the field. Vicious looking good. They have just about 26 seconds remaining on that penalty.
Yeah, you know, that penalty is taken off, you know, but they got to get in field position now to kind of get that guy coming out of the box, which is not really that hard to do on this field because there is no back bunker. And the Brian Bortles in one of them, and they got the other one filled as well.
Yeah, Caleb Abel takes the walk too, so Trevor really shouldn't have a problem getting out of this box right now if he can come towards the snake side. Only 2 players left. One of them just focused on the Dorito side, and the other one in the Dorito corner.
And he was able to get out of that box nice and clean, so now back to full strength. Omaha Vicious getting in the snake. Also, Daly is going to be in a position here. You know, Parker Rosenthal coming down this side of the field. Good cross-field shots, Todd.
Yeah, but I mean, Parker Rosenthal has this entire snake to himself. You know, we've seen teams like the Ironmen. In this situation, Alex Goldman would dive into the back of their side. Brian Smith, Daniel Holiday, you know, into the back side of Aftershock's snake too, and then be ripping these guys to shreds. You know, it's just the recognition of what happens and then the execution of it instantaneously. The quicker that you can realize what's going on, figure out where the bodies are and make those moves, those are the opportunities that you have.
Well, there is no execution without recognition. You have to. That's why you see the best players in the game always with their eyes up. Even if they're running out to a bunker, they are looking at the incoming streams of paintballs and they are adjusting what it is they're going to do split second based on the certain possibilities that they recognize in front of them in order to capitalize.
Well,
let's check out this replay, Chris.
There's nothing worse than getting shot by your own player. And here it is right here. Just watch this right here, getting shot right about there. you see his back, the back of his head just get blown up.
I feel bad for I feel
He's
bad.
like, oh no.
I feel bad for Davey Simmons now because I was saying he's struggling to get out to a spot. Yeah, it's really hard to get out to your spot if your homie executes you in the back of the head off the break.
I honestly think I've done that before. Well, I think we've all done it.
Oh, I've done it. Everyone's done it.
I remember I shot Andy Kopchak in the loader because he's about 3 feet tall. It was in, I can't remember what it was, but I shot him right in the loader and just destroyed his whole loader. He wasn't too stoked about that.
Well, yeah, it happens. It does happen. So we're going to come right back here. It's all tied up into a piece here. These teams fighting for relevance in the pro division, and we're going to be right back.
Want to catch the best paintball videos on the web? Then tune in to PaintballAccess.com. Fill your mind with compelling articles, player stats, and the best interviews in the business. And this season, PaintballAccess.com has become even hotter with exclusive videos from the CXPL. The CXPL is easily Canada's largest tournament, featuring real X-ball with 15 balls per second and 25-minute halves. Drop by PaintballAccess.com for exclusive footage from Canada's hottest tournament.
And we are back all tied up here. And quite the seesaw battle as Shock running to get off the field before the start of this next point.
Well, no, they're 4 players. They might be calling a timeout right here because Aftershock had to get a gun.
Oh, that's what it was. He had to get a gun.
Yeah, he's running way too fast just to get out the field. So, I mean, I guess, you know, you got 5 seconds left. He'll make it nice and comfortable. But that's got to take some energy.
So let's see the start of this point here. You're looking at Aftershock as they push out aggressive up the center, but they lose Number 21.
That's Christopher Jensen.
And here we have Shane Colby finally getting in the field, getting into the bunker behind the snake. Got Brian Bortle alive behind him. Get some support, and they can start working ahead of him. Caleb Abel gets shot off the snake side, so only one gun on the snake side, keeping him there. The Dorito 1 on Aftershock is also shooting across the field at Shane Colby, so the Dorito side should be pretty open to attack. Trevor right now, you see, this is the 3 that we were talking about. You know, if you got both these guys alive, and now Shane Colby able to come in, Brian Bortle can just work with Shane Colby. Trevor now, he's alive, having the body advantage. This is what's going to allow them to start pushing down the field.
Only
2 bodies left for Aftershock.
There he comes. Big move down the Dorito side, streaking all the way.
That's when a penalty comes into play, though. I guarantee here comes a flag.
Oh, God, you called that, Chris.
Yeah, and whenever you run that far, that's a major penalty being called on Omaha Vicious right now.
Oh, did another major
penalty.
God, and it couldn't have got worse for Omaha Vicious at that moment right there.
2 major penalties on Omaha Vicious right there.
You know, and that's if you're Carl Bortle right now, you just take your clipboard and smash yourself in the forehead, because, you know, the team's looking so good, and it's looking like they're about to go up here and take the momentum away from Aftershock, win that point, and start to get it together, and then instantly 2 unnecessary major penalties. And wow, that is a frustrating and terrible turn of events if you're an Omaha Vicious fan.
Now, as you see him hang the flag, that was AJ Lawhead hanging the flag, but right before that, he actually got shot in the face, but that was the major penalty. That was the second major penalty that was called on Omaha Vicious. So even though he did have paint on his face, just understand he was a live player.
And look at this Vicious pits right here. Got to be super frustrating for them.
Somewhere in Nebraska, Julie Bortle's son Ian is crying watching this webcast.
Oh, God.
You know, look, that's what happens when you get major penalties. Babies start crying.
Let's go down the pits right now and just check.
2 major penalties.
Let's just listen in real quick, man, and see what they had to say on the pits.
And if you have children, this might not be what you want to hear.
Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, we got to over. You got to do it now. Both sides. What is it? Hey, let's head train. You got to get one quick goes off the brake.
Well, maintaining their composure. At least they didn't go crazy on each other.
Yeah, like I said, they have plenty of time. And they're right. It's only a 1-point game, and you can get out of these penalties. I mean, and Omaha Vicious is one of those teams.
The key for Vicious right now is just keep it close. Okay, you're playing with 3 guys for the next 145, and then you get 1 back, and then 2 minutes later you get another 1 back. So just keep it close. Make it out alive. Do whatever you need to do to burn that clock off, and we're going to be right back, man. This is going to be interesting. So the situation, in case you're just tuning in, Chicago Aftershock, they are up 1 point against Omaha Vicious right now, 13-23. Tons of time left in this race to 7 points. However, unfortunate turn of events for Omaha Vicious. Brian Bortle, major penalty. John Glanville, who they picked up from CEP, who had a ton of penalty problems last year, also gets a major penalty. So that's not how you want to start your first season with your new team. And but they were calm and composed in the pits, and they said exactly what needed to be said, and that was, hey, we have a ton of time left. Let's just get out there and burn that clock down and get our guys back in the fight.
Yeah, and they're going to have almost the full 2 minutes on both of those penalties. But, I mean, playing a team like Aftershock, you know, we always talk about the really good teams in the league you don't want to get majors on because they really know how to execute. You know, they're better at recognizing those situations. Aftershock, this may be the team that Vicious can, you know, get themselves some confidence by burning these penalties off and not giving up too many points with 13 and a half still left on the clock.
Well, the key is like we were talking about, definitely keep it close. Just keep it close. That's what Vicious needs to do right now. They're already down 1, but if they can keep this to a 1 or 2 point spread here and get their bodies back, they'll be in good position to start getting back in there and win this match. We will see, though. Here we go, D-side breakout. Looking at Omaha Vicious. Can they keep 3 bodies alive? They do. Aftershock going all the way up to the center A. That's a good move. Can he produce from there? We will see.
Super Tony runs in there to give him a look.
Yep, and he is clean up there in the center. As you see, Aftershock taking a 50 Dorito also on that other side of the Dorito field.
Yeah, Davey Simmons gets shot in the goggles on the snake side, so he's walking off a 4-on-3 now.
And this is exactly what Omaha Vicious needed to do. This was the perfect breakout for them. Get out wide, stay alive, roll your guns, and get a quick kill, which they did. So now they're only down 1 body. Oh, but Parker Rosenthal catches one. And that is now it's going to be tough here because all Aftershock needs to do is spread the field. They also lose Sauceman, and then here we go. This point is going to get closed out pretty quick. Nice job by AJ Lawhead. Had to switch positions, did a little juke move, and able to take out number 33, Phil Kank, who stuck in that back bunker, last player left alive. They were able to burn about a minute off of those major penalties, and that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. You know, now they're going to be down. It should be a 4-2 game now. Yeah, 2 points. If they can get this last one, burn these.
Oh, and a major penalty on Aftershock. So bad news for Aftershock and great news for Omaha Vicious. That's wow.
That might even be a no point.
And if that's a dirty hang, that's going to be a no point. And that's what Vicious needed, and not at all what Chicago Aftershock needed. Chicago Aftershock, they needed to start running the score up. You know, if they want to win this match, they need to take advantage of the advantage that is given them, which is what exactly Omaha Vicious did to them. Let's check out this replay here on the little stutter move. AJ Lawhead jukes Phil Kank and then just puts it right on the back of his neck, and that one's gonna hurt. Nice job.
God, disappointing though, because they could have went up right there by 2 points, but now instead of up by 2 points, they're up by 1 point, and they have a major. So they're actually going to be at a disadvantage because both of the Omaha Vicious guys will come out of the box. They'll come, you know.
Bruno's losing his mind over. Well, I don't know. We'll see. He's been pretty composed recently, actually. But anytime you see Bruno running over to, maybe he was just checking the score.
I get worried when Bruno starts charging at me. That's
well, those veins start popping out of his neck. That's when he starts looking real scary. He can be super nice.
He looks like he's almost got a half smile going on there right now.
Oh, that's the back of his head. That's just a wrinkle. No, but Mikey Bruno's a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, I mean, that's very unfortunate that it happened. But hey, I saw the hit down here, or from up here on his leg when he hung the flag. So unfortunately, and that's disappointing when you have 2 more players alive that could have done it for you.
Yeah. So bad news for Shock. Score still 2-3 on that dirty hang, and gives Omaha Vicious a breath of life. And we're gonna be right back here on this timeout.
While you are sitting at home, Texas Storm and Houston Heat are here in Dallas, wearing Raza.
Hey, it's Nick Slovak with Houston Heat. What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? The Spire is smaller, lighter, holds more paint, easier to use, easier to take apart, easier to change back and forth from a lid to a speed feed, and most importantly, the thing never jams. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
ANSgear rocks the largest inventory of any paintball retailer. From our massive selection of guns to our endless supply of goggles, ANSgear.com can supply your every paintball need. We have a large selection of paint in stock and the best loaders on the market. Our huge inventory of jerseys and pants ensures that we have sizes for all different types of players. Don't forget, we also carry the highest quality paintball tanks. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
Tons of time remaining as Mikey Bruno, coach of Chicago Aftershock, legendary player, and he is getting his troops motivated here to start this next point. And they're still winning. They are still up by 1, but that's not a giant margin by any stretch of the imagination. 45 seconds left to go on one of the major penalties for Vicious, 58 seconds on the second. But unfortunately for Shock, now they have their own fresh 2-minute major penalty. In case you are just tuning in and you're unsure how the penalties work, there's minors and majors. 1-minute minors signified by a yellow flag thrown in the air by a referee, and majors 2 minutes and a red flag. 2 minutes on the majors, they stay up there the whole time. Minors come off. So here we go.
And Aftershock sends Regan all the way to the Snake 2 on the break, and he makes it in clean. And he's trying to get some shots across the field on that Dorito 1. Omaha Vicious. You got Zach Sherman over there, along with Trevor Reeser and Matt Sossaman trying to lock off the Snake side from that Dorito can.
Now, good job right here by Aftershock. Getting up in the middle. Now, that guy right there on your screen has a great shot at coming out of the box, so I guarantee this first guy coming out of the box is going to get just smoked.
Yeah, and
oh, he gets shot in the loader before he comes out of the box, though, Matty.
John Glanville, you don't come out of the box and just go goofy-handed sidestepping to a bunker. You come booking out of that box and get somewhere you can try and be alive. But Aftershock just shoots himself in the foot. Two players, Regan and Abel, at the same time both get shot in the goggles, and they're walking off the field. And that's going to let Trevor Reeser and Brian Bortle fresh out the box.
Hungry for blood.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, another major on Brian Bortle.
Brian Bortle wasn't out of the box for 6 seconds before he got another major penalty.
Oh, good
Brian
Lord.
Bortle really.
Making it interesting. Making it interesting.
Wow. So the game's going to go 3-3 now in favor of. Actually, 3-3. There's tie game. 3-3. Omaha Vicious scoring that point, but in the process, grabbing another major penalty on Brian Bortle. 41 seconds left on the other penalty.
I mean, with the way that this battle has been going, this is probably the most entertaining, one of the most entertaining games I've seen so far. It's dirty as all hell out there, just getting crazy with it. Omaha Vicious and Shock back and forth with the penalties and the points. And the score is going to be all tied up at 3 apiece. And we're going to be right back after this. And we are back. Beautiful morning here, Dallas, Texas, for the season opener, 2013 PSP season. Let's check out this replay from that last point. So you're looking at the run through by Brian Bortle right there. Gets that shot in, and then the referee is there, looks down, sees the hit, pulls that major penalty. And so it's too far an angle from here to see exactly when he took that shot, but that was the replay of the penalty. Again, this game brought to you by Challenge Park Extreme, CPX Sports. Man, they have such an amazing field, and hey, they have an awesome big game coming up, Living Legends. They're giving away an Empire Vanquish and an axe at that event. If you register for the Living Legends before the end of March, purchase air and 1 case of paint, you're automatically entered in a drawing to win the axe. But if you register with air and 3 cases of paint prepaid, then you will be entered in to win not only the axe, but also a Vanquish. CPX Sports.
Davey Simmons gets shot on the break. Good news for Omaha Vicious. 4-4 game, or 4-on-3 now. And Aftershock getting ready to come out of the box in 20 seconds.
You know, and people got to make time, make room for them. I mean, if you know your boy's coming out of the box, you got to get out of there and go somewhere else, just like that. Making a good move. You can't see it right there on your screen. Omaha Vicious gearing up for them coming out of the box right now.
And there, number 10. Brian McKenna tried to fill out to that Dorito corner, and he got shot. Coming out of the box was number 4, Daly. He gets shot trying to get into that Dorito side can. Only 2 bodies actually make that 1 body, AJ Lawhead.
And Todd, Vicious is looking really good right now, as it looks like they're probably going to win this point, and also, most importantly, burn off that major penalty.
Yeah, if Mikey Bruno is smart, he'd blow the horn right now so he can preserve more time on the major, because he's not going to win this point. He might as well blow that horn.
And there it goes, finally making that call. to concede the point.
I probably would have done that 15 seconds before that personally, just like Todd said. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing to do.
Yeah, so the score, Omaha Vicious. Great job by Vicious to dig in and take a lot of time off that penalty. 47 seconds left on it. We got 9:50 left in the game. Vicious 4, Shock 3. We'll be right back. There's the culprit right now, Brian Bortle.
Gosh, just the dirtiest player on the field right now, Brian Bortle.
But it's, you know, the thing about Brian is that he's so talented and he's so progressed so much as a player, and he's just gonna have to shake this off. Really, don't let this haunt you. As a player, when you have a bad game and or you're a penalty magnet for a little bit, you have to have that amnesia. You gotta just have that short-term memory on it. Forget about it. You gotta really focus on what's to come and not what is past. And if you are going to register the past, it just needs to be taken as a lesson and not as a hindrance for you to perform at the current present moment. And so here we go, off the break, all the way up to the center 50 structure is Chicago Aftershock chopping up Reeser.
Trevor Racer gets shot in the pack and he gets pulled.
You know, and here comes Aftershock down the snake side of the field. You know, you see him up there in the center of your screen, up at that A, locking down the snake side of the field over here.
And Trevor Regan.
Oh, I think Regan took one. Yeah, he did. So, wow. That was a corner bunker over there. I think that was Zach Sherman who was able to get a shot in cross field and just dink out Regan.
Aftershock putting the pressure on Vicious right now, up the field, into that tall tower on the Dorito side, on the snake side of the A. They still got one player in the mini race bunker behind the snake. Vicious, Brian Bortle comes out of the box and gets chopped up. So 3 bodies left alive for Vicious, 4 still on Aftershock. As we see Aftershock coming to the 50 Dorito. It's like Brian McKenna over there. Aftershock now on both sides of the A.
You know, you can see that's right there, number 21 on Aftershock, getting up the field. Christopher Jensen. You can see, look at the spread. Look at the spread. 2 at the A right there in the middle, and then also getting one of them getting shot out, but also Omaha Vicious all taking lumps.
I was going to say they still got bodies. That's okay. You can lose a couple as you go forward. And nice job by Shock now to get on the board and tie it up.
And after all that madness, all these penalties, we're coming back to play 5-on-5 paintball, and it's a tie ball game.
I know. Honestly, this is the most entertaining game that I've seen so far this weekend. I wouldn't say it's the best game we've seen this weekend, but it is absolutely the most entertaining game we've seen this weekend. But both teams playing hungry. They understand what's at stake, and we're going to be right back after this. And we're back. 8:16. Look, okay, there's still 8 minutes and 16 seconds left. I feel like they've been playing this game for 2 hours because so much has happened in a small space of time. So many little interesting points of interest.
This is a well matched up game right here, though.
Yeah.
I think they're matching up pretty well.
You know, the cool thing about Shock is obviously, you look at this on paper, and Vicious is a better team. But that's not what paintball is about. It has nothing to do with what's on paper. And we had all this talk going into all the crazy off-season madness and the drama, and check out all the stories on paintballaccess.com. and online. And man, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter what your team looks like on paper. I've played on teams that on paper we should have been smashing people, and it took us a long time to get it together. So, you know, that's why we shoot the paintballs at each other. You know, that's the whole point. And also, look what, say, like CP, for instance, such a success story from this particular event because they took it upon themselves to exert their will out there and play the best paintball that they can. And that's what I'd love to see out of Shock. And I think that we're seeing, you know, Shock really believe in themselves as they're playing a really good team in Omaha Vicious, and it's all tied up at 4-4.
On the breakout right now, you see split screen, Aftershock on your left, Omaha Vicious on your right. Aftershock dropping one player, and also Omaha Vicious also losing one player, Matty.
Patrick Wingfield goes down, diving out to that Dorito 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought he was reaching for it.
Sometimes.
I thought he was reaching for it. Hey, on the... God, Aftershock taking the 50 Dorito, but also losing, but and in the process, taking the snake.
Aftershock with 3 bodies down now. Yes, they are in the snake, and that snake player is going to his squeegee. He's got to swap his barrel out. The other, and he gets shot. Referee calling him out.
On the bounce shot, that snake is bouncy. It's a bounce central.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of weird angles. 1 player left for Aftershock in the Dorito corner. And Vicious.
Now, as Vicious, would you slow play this, Todd, or what?
I would just make sure that the flag gets to the flag station. No matter what happens here, whether it is pretty, ugly, just
or anywhere
don't
in between.
Blow it if I'm Vicious right now. Make Mikey Bruno blow the horn. I think Mikey Bruno just blew the horn. Oh, maybe not. Different field.
There it is, the horn coming in. And good job by Vicious.
And see now, I liked Aftershock getting in the snake right there. That was Caleb Abel. But why sit back there and bounce central? Get up the snake. There's no reason, like you said, your best. There's nobody keeping you. Get down the field.
You know who's putting in some work for Omaha Vicious this game is Zach Sherman. 8 confirmed kills for Zach Sherman, by far kill leader for that team. And we'll be back after these commercial messages.
Next season on the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's like on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia.
Scott Kemp, age 26, born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
The attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
Here we go. 1-point game, 5-4. Omaha Vicious in the lead. 6 minutes and 55 seconds remain. And I'll tell you what, we got another great match coming at you to end the morning competition, and it's going to be Tampa Bay Damage taking on Moscow Red Legion. Then after that, we got Thunder and Tauntauns, Ironman 187 crew, infamous Tauntauns, 187 crew, Thunder, and then infamous Ironman to close the day out, close the prelim action. And then, of course, man, the tournament really starts tomorrow. So,
yeah, but this has just been a great tournament already, our season. I mean, look at this next game. Damage and Legion playing next.
Hey, all the way around, what a great season opener. The event's sold out. Everything looks great, great weather. We've seen some intense competition, and I can't wait to see as there's timeout is called. I also can't wait to see, you know, surrounding this field that you're watching on your screens worldwide is a giant tournament full of tons of divisional teams and teams of all skill levels, and the best of those, you know, are going to prevail, and we'll see them out here too. So I'm excited to see who's going to step up this year in the divisional ranks, who are going to be the other 5 challenger teams. I don't know. It's a lot of interesting things happening this year here in the PSP, and we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. take a look from our D side cam. That's the opposite side of the field from you're used to seeing our typical shots here. And that side of the field's been playing real fast, man. And I think that that is going to continue as these teams start to master this field.
And Shane Colby all the way to the snake on the break. Davey Simmons all the way to the tower in the center of the field.
Yeah, but then you saw on the D side cam, there's Shock losing a player off the break. It's AJ Lawhead, who's their top killer with Caleb Abel.
And here comes a major penalty on Aftershock right now. You saw that. You couldn't see that on this side of the field, but very unfortunate for Aftershock. That'll probably put the nail in the coffin for this game. Even though it's a 5-4 game, it's going to go up 6-4 right now to Omaha Vicious.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. You know, now that they're only 1 point away as Sauceman hangs that flag. And Davey Simmons, you know, that's tough. Davey Simmons, and Davey Simmons needs to be a leader on that team. And I'm looking at the kill count here. Caleb Abel and AJ Lawhead are stepping up for Chicago Aftershock in this game. Davey Simmons only 2 confirmed kills out there and just getting a major penalty, so he doesn't need to tighten it up and go to the well here. He's one of those guys that needs to, like you said, Todd, you know, your team is, the tone of your team is dictated by the play and attitude and composure of your best players. So we're going to be right back. Omaha Vicious, can they finish off Chicago Aftershock? We will see. Don't go anywhere.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ANSgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
Check out the pits here. Mikey Bruno letting his team know what's up. Yeah, he's just giving some motivation is what I would say to his
motivation.
team. Well, Mikey Bruno is a great motivator. You always need somebody like that on your team. You need a motivator. You need somebody who's willing to get in other guys' faces and let them know what they need to hear, whether it's good or bad. Some players, you know, with Nicky Cuba, if Nicky Cuba's playing bad, you can go to Nicky Cuba, punch him in the gut and be like, hey, you know, get it up. You suck. I know you can play better than this. Let's see what you got. And he's going to be like, absolutely. And he's going to take that and go out there and play better. You don't go to Nicky Cuba and be like, come on, buddy, I need the best out of you. But some players need that. You know, some players need a pat on the back and not a slap in the face. And it's up to the coach to try to figure that out.
And Todd said that at best earlier. You know, some people got to handle baby cakes and others not. Oh, and here comes, that's number 4 right there, Aftershock. Going to the X in the break. Eric Daly taking the walk.
You just got to make sure
this ought to be good.
When you're trying to fire up your players that you don't accidentally punch somebody. Sorry, Chris Sosing.
Oh, man. Well, like I said, Omaha Vicious looking like they're in total control of this game right now. That's about going to do it. I think that's pretty much everybody. Way to close out this game, though. You know.
Well, and very important, Chris, is that then this needs to be said right now because it has implications to the future of how the league's going to look, is that we're waiting to find who are going to be the 10 champion teams and who are going to be the 10 challenger teams. So the big question is who's going to step up from the divisional ranks and move up to be pro, be a challenger team, and try to have a chance to fight into the Champions League. And then which of these teams, the 15 pro teams that are thrown down here for your viewing pleasure, are going to be the champions team. So what Omaha Vicious just gave themselves an opportunity to do is to remain in the Champions League. What they're going to have to do, though, is play it off. They're playing off against the other 4th-ranked teams in each division.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this replay right here. Here's that meeting at the X. There's Parker Rosenthal going to stick it on the side. They're both going to trade out, walk off the field, but that opened up the game. Here's the reverse angle of it. Trying to shoot cross-handed, getting shot in the left arm.
I never really understood that. You know, and just a little tidbit here for that game. 6 major penalties thrown in this entire match. I think every flag that was thrown there was a major. There was no minor penalties thrown this last match, and 6 majors in one match is quite a lot.
Yeah, it was insane out there. I mean, it was exciting to watch, but there's gonna be some words need to be said in some meetings, and most importantly for Omaha Vicious is that they have more games to play, so they're gonna be knocked out of this tournament as far as having a chance to progress to win but now they're fighting for their lives, their lives in the Champions League. So we get to see those games tomorrow too. That's going to be crazy. And it looks like we have Lauren Kelly, our sideline reporter. Lauren, what's going on down there?
Down here on the sidelines with Brian Bortle from Vicious. Brian, let's talk about those majors. You guys got 4 out of the 6 during this match, and you got 2 out of the 4. Tell us what was going on.
Yeah, well, the first major I got, it was the Snake 2 only in the mini race, and I kind of did what anybody do. We were pinching him off from the sides, then the middle guy goes and gets him. And when I came over, he was over the top, and I thought I shot him, or I shot him in the loader, and I thought I got him. And then when I kept running by, we kind of started shooting at each other more, and he shot me in the pack. And when they threw the major flag up, I actually thought it was on him. You could see that I was kind of like pumping my fist, thinking, and then all of a sudden they started pointing at me. And then with the second major, me and the refs actually talked about it. And one of the things that's happening with this field is the start boxes. They don't have the doors, the netting doors that are usually on every tournament. So if you look at the start boxes when you're in there for a major or minor, the door, it's just a big open gap in the middle. So apparently the ref saw me get shot when I was standing ready to come out, and it was around my leg and thigh area. And I must just not have felt it, and he said I had a little bit of time to get rid of it before I came out. But when I came out, it was the Dorito guy, the last one, and I ran and got him, and they said I had that hit. So since I didn't get it off, they had to call that major.
All right, well, that was pretty rough on those penalties, but you guys did win. Congratulations. That's all for now.